Hello YouTube, this is Carrie and welcome to me sharing a very special moment with everyone. We are officially down to 2 weeks and counting until I leave for Thailand. First of all, apologies for not finishing the 30-day trans challenge before I left. Honestly, it was just too much work for one person, so while I may continue that series, I'm not going to be able to finish it in time. It was just too much editing, too much thinking, and really I need to be getting ready. You know, putting that much time into a video every single day was just too much for me. So I may finish it, but for now we're going to move on to other things. So 2 weeks and counting, and here's the special thing. This, in case you're not familiar, is the magic blue pill known as estradiol. And this particular pill that I'm holding in my hand is the very last one that I'm going to be taking for a very long time. This afternoon I took my very last spironolactone pill ever because I'm off hormones for the next 2 weeks. It's something that you have to do when you go in for surgery because spiro affects your blood pressure and therefore it could result in complications with surgery, and estradiol, there's a risk of blood clots, so before you take a 12-hour flight internationally, it's definitely a good idea to not have the risk of blood clotting with that. And also in surgery recovery, a blood clot could kill you, so go figure. It's just one of those things that you have to do. So I have to admit, this is one of the parts of this process that I'm looking forward to the least. If you were to ask me about the parts that I'm looking forward to the least, number one is probably the initial few days of recovery and then dilating 3 times a day for the first 2 or 3 months. That is going to be a royal pain, and you know, it's pretty much going to give me no life for the first couple of months after surgery because it takes up so much time and effort. Probably number 2 or 3 on that list would be being off of hormones for over a month and a half. Oh, that's not fun. So tonight is the last night that I'm going to be on hormones. As of tomorrow, I'm going to be off of them, and for the 2 weeks before I leave, I'm just going to have, or actually even for the 3 weeks before leading up to surgery, I'm just going to have no hormones at all. And I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get depressed. Really depressed. I know exactly how my body reacts to no hormones. So first of all, here we go. Bottoms up. Last estrogen pill before I go to Thailand. By the way, I take it sublingually, so rather than swallowing it, I stick it underneath my tongue and just let it dissolve. And since we talked about blood clotting, the way that what that does is that it takes more of the medicine directly into the bloodstream, where when you swallow it, it passes through your digestive system, which goes through the liver. And it's that liver processing that leads to some possible complications where, you know, there's fewer complications if you do it sublingually and more of it gets into your bloodstream, so it's more effective. But whatever, tangent. So I have to admit, in transition, I have unwillingly been off of hormones twice. Both times were completely miserable. I am not sure if you guys have seen this video that was part of my transition timeline, but I haven't really officially shared it. That was at the tail end of my 1-month hormone trial. I didn't reorder fast enough. So basically, I ended up off of hormones for about a week straight while I was waiting for the order to arrive from the internet pharmacy that I booked my initial supply from. And after a month straight of feeling amazing for the first time in a long time, you know, this is weird. Like, it's almost like estrogen's a happy pill for trans people. It's like, well, trans women. I'm sure trans guys hate it, but, you know, I don't know if this is an experience that anyone else had, but for me, it's like it was like a night and day difference where it almost felt like it was unlocking some sort of chemical reaction in my brain that I had been lacking completely for like the 15 years prior to that. And all of a sudden I was able to feel happy. And you know, it's like food tasted better and the sky looked brighter and colors looked more vivid. And, you know, I just felt alive. And then I was off of hormones for a week and God, I felt like shit. Excuse the language, but I did. You know, it's just, you know, that kind of joy and that feeling of actually living life. Before hormones, I said that, you know, to me, it felt like I was kind of living in this dreary fog where, you know, things made me happy, but it didn't feel like real joy. It's like, it was kind of a surface happiness. It didn't really resonate with me and really make me feel radiantly happy from the inside out. And once I got on hormones, all of a sudden I did have that feeling. And, you know, it's like, this is like what it's like to be a normal person. Oh my gosh, I'm actually able to experience joy and real sorrow and real happiness. And where, you know, before it's like everything that I felt just seemed blunted and like almost like it was like I was looking through the world in grayscale, and then all of a sudden it went into full color. Unfortunately, this did happen a second time where the October after I started at my new job, I was still commuting back and forth to my house in Cleveland 2 hours every single day. One night on the drive back, I hit a deer and I had to get my car towed, and so I was stuck and my hormones were still back in Cleveland. So I was stuck in the city that I work in, staying in a hotel with like one change of clothes and no hormones for 4 days while I was waiting for my car to get fixed. So, oh man. And once again, my mood just went to crap. Like, you know, suddenly I was looking in the mirror and it felt like I'd lost the feminine glow that I usually see with myself. And, you know, I could barely even look at myself. And all of a sudden my mood just dropped down and I was trying not to just scream in frustration because, you know, again, it just felt like the joy draining out of my life. So this is not going to be a fun next 3 weeks. And I've heard firsthand experiences from other people who have had to go off of hormones for surgery. It is not fun. This is probably the last that you're going to see my typical bubbly, happy, you know, self that, well, okay, I admit I make a lot of depressed videos, but again, see, the difference is, you know, on hormones, I hit depression harder, but I also hit joy harder. So it's kind of, you know, like, I'm experiencing real happiness and like real sadness, where before it's like I wanted to feel sad, but I couldn't. I wanted to cry, but I couldn't. And, you know, I wanted to feel truly joyful, but I couldn't. You know, it was just like this emotional, dreary fog where I felt like I couldn't feel anything. So, you know, it's just really awful to go back there. And again, I have had like 4 or 5 friends who've gone through surgery and had to go off of hormones. All of them have said, it's terrible. You will be begging to go off of them, to go back on them by the end of it. So, oh boy. Here we go anyway. Now you've taken the last hormone pill with me, and I am going to do a follow-up video getting ready to leave for Thailand probably in about a week or so, and then obviously I'm going to not necessarily vidlog every day. As you can probably hear, I'm not using my microphone right now that I bought just because it's too much effort to set it up and edit, and you know, I had to sync up the audio with the video, and it just takes so much time. Where really, I don't feel like that's what my YouTube channel is about. I feel like my YouTube channel is just about talking and, you know, getting spontaneous ideas out there. So, you know, I want everybody to be able to experience this with me as it happens, and I don't want to be burned out like I was during the 30-day trans challenge, where the pressure of editing and coming up with good answers and good videos every day was too much for me. So I want to be able to just turn on my camera and say what I'm feeling and what I'm thinking about every single day, and for it not to be a huge burden. So anyway, we're down to 2 weeks and counting. I fly out once again on, well, I fly out from Cleveland on midday August 1st. And then I'm meeting up with my mom in Los Angeles, and my flight to Thailand leaves at about 12:30 in the morning, and we get there at 11:30 in the morning the next day. Alrighty, so time ticking closer. I'm getting more and more excited the closer I get. It was actually kind of emotional this morning when I realized I was taking my last Spiro pill ever. It's like, you know, it almost feels like I'm graduating, like, you know, this is what got me started, and this is what gave me my life back after all those years of feeling nothing, and now it's the culmination of it where I'm finally going to have the body that I've always wanted. And yeah, I'm just excited. Anyway, again, I'll make a video in a week. I'll probably be a lot more depressed and begging to be back on hormones, but for now I'm still happy. Oh boy. We'll see what tomorrow will bring. Have a good night, everyone.